and that's one of the best kept secrets in American history. Very few people know that ever happened, but that alone is why 400,000 blacks got registered in Mississippi and millions all over the South, was because they sent those armed federal registrars into the state.
James H. Meredith, who in 1962 became the first African American to attend the University of Mississippi, is shot by a sniper shortly after beginning a long civil rights march through the South. Known as the March Against Fear, Meredith had been walking from Memphis, Tennessee to Jackson, Mississippi in an attempt to encourage voter registration by African Americans in the South.
You decided to do that on your own, as I understand.
Years before Ole Miss.
Years before Ole Miss?
Oh, yes. I'd known for a long time that fear was the all-pervading force that kept white supremacy in effective.
Why then did you decide to do it?
Well, the reason I was unarmed was because I had decided that it wasn't valid anymore. So I was going to prove to the people that they didn't have nothing to fear. Well, as it really turned out, except for a few bird shots, I mean, it worked out. The most important thing that happened from that was the sending of armed federal registrars into the South. And that's one of the best kept secrets in American history. Very few people know that ever happened, but that alone is why 400,000 blacks got registered in Mississippi and millions all over the South, was because they sent those armed federal registrars into the state.
And that happened as a result of your getting shot?
And of Dr. King and the others taking up the march.
A former serviceman in the U.S. Air Force, Meredith applied and was accepted to the University of Mississippi in 1962, but his admission was revoked when they learned of his race. A federal court ordered Ole Miss to admit him, but when he tried to register on September 20th, 1962, he found the entrance to the office blocked by Mississippi Governor Ross Barnett.
The town of Oxford is an armed camp following riots that accompanied the registration of the first Negro in the university's 118-year history. Much of this film record was destroyed when our cameraman, Gordon Yoder, was attacked, but he did salvage pictures of Governor Ross Barnett at the scene. The governor fought the court order long and bitterly before modifying his stand, saying Mississippi was overpowered by the federal government. President Kennedy appealed to the students and to the people of the state to comply peacefully with the law and bring the crisis to an end. Even as he talked, riots were breaking out in Oxford.
Americans are free, in short, to disagree with the law, but not to disobey it.
On September 28th, the governor was found guilty of silver contumacy and was ordered to cease his interference with desegregation at the university or face arrest and a fine of $10,000 a day. 2 days later, Meredith was escorted onto the Ole Miss campus by a U.S. Marshal, setting off riots that resulted in the death of 2 students. He returned the next day and began classes.
He was marching through Mississippi.
In 1963, Meredith, who was a transfer student from all-black Jackson State College, graduated with a degree in political science.
My boy James Meredith. Some evil man tried to take his life.